Air travel in 2025 feels very different from just a few years ago. Rules keep shifting, technology advances, and passengers often find themselves caught off guard. The Transportation Securities Administration, TSA, has rolled out a new wave of policies that travelers must follow if they want smooth access through airports. Some of these updates focus on carry-on bags, which have long been a source of confusion and frustration for flyers. In today's video, we'll break down the exact carry-on rules you need to know in 2025. We'll cover the surprising bans, the loopholes some passengers are using, and the big mistakes that could cost you money, or even your flight. If you're planning to travel this year, pay close attention, because TSA is stricter than ever, and ignorance is no excuse when your bag is denied. 1. The shrinking carry-on size. Carry-on size. Rules have always varied slightly between airlines, but in 2025, they've become even stricter. Most airlines have cut down their size limits by 1 or 2 inches compared to previous years. While this might not sound like a big deal, it has major consequences for travelers who invested in TSA-approved luggage just a few years ago. Bags that were once considered standard are suddenly oversized, or leading to denied boarding or forced gate checking. Airlines claim this is due to shrinking overhead bin space and newer, slimmer aircraft designs, but passengers see it as another way to push checked baggage fees. Even frequent travelers who thought they knew the system are getting caught, and that's as the new measurements are enforced with digital scanners at check-in counters. The days of eyeballing bag size are over. Now, every fraction of an inch counts. 2. Smart bags under scrutiny. Smart luggage was once seen as the future of travel. Bags with built-in chargers, GPS tracking, and even remote locking systems. But in 2025, TSA is cracking down harder than ever on these high-tech suitcases. The main issue is the batteries, particularly lithium-ion packs that cannot be removed. TSA considers them a fire risk, and many airlines now refuse to let them on board in carry-on or checked luggage. Even if the battery is removable, passengers are often required to show it at security, causing delays for those who didn't prepare. The crackdown is surprising travelers who spent hundreds of dollars on sleek, high-tech luggage only to find it banned or heavily restricted. This rule has hit frequent travelers the hardest, especially business people who rely on built-in charging to keep devices powered during long flights. Many are being forced back to traditional carry-ons, losing convenience in the process. TSA agents have also started flagging lesser-known brands more frequently, often because cheaper batteries don't meet new safety standards. The new personal item crackdown. Airlines once turned a blind eye to passengers sneaking oversized personal items on board, but 2025 brings much stricter limits. Many carriers have updated policies to enforce exact size measurements for personal items, meaning that slightly larger backpacks, tote bags, or laptop cases that previously passed unnoticed may now be flagged. These personal items must often fit beneath the seat in front of you, with dimensions that are smaller than carry-on guidelines. TSA officers, in coordination with airlines, are beginning to check these items more frequently during boarding. And in some airports, staff are positioned specifically to enforce personal item compliance. Many travelers have expressed frustration, noting that the definition of a personal item varies not only between airlines, but sometimes between flights of the same carrier. For example, an airline may allow a slightly larger bag on domestic flights, but enforce stricter limits internationally, creating confusion. Some passengers have been caught off guard when a bag that worked in one airport was flagged in another, highlighting the unpredictability of the crackdown. Social media is full of stories where even luxury brand backpacks were denied due to an inch of extra material. The inconsistency has led to rising demand for luggage that is universally compliant, with manufacturers even marketing TSA proof, or 2025 compliant bags, smart bags. Under fire, smart luggage, suitcases with built-in batteries, USB ports, and tracking systems was once hailed as the future of travel. But in 2025, TSA and airlines are cracking down harder than ever, particularly on lithium batteries embedded in these bags. Regulations now require that all smart bags have removable batteries, and TSA has begun spot-checking bags that appear to have built-in tech features. If your battery cannot be removed on the spot, your bag may be denied entirely, forcing you to either remove belongings or abandon the luggage. While some airlines offered grace periods in previous years, 2025 has seen a shift towards zero-tolerance enforcement. This crackdown poses challenges for frequent travelers who invested heavily in premium smart luggage brands, expecting convenience rather than rejection. Many passengers have voiced outrage that expensive luggage is now essentially obsolete unless modified. Social media threads are filled with travelers warning others to test their bags before departure, particularly ensuring batteries can be removed without tools. The problem is amplified for connecting flights, where an airline may approve the bag on the first leg, but deny it on the second, causing chaos mid-journey. Even travel insurance companies are beginning to deny claims related to smart bag confiscation, putting the burden entirely on passengers. Weight limits are back. For years, carry-on luggage enforcement focused almost exclusively on size rather than weight. But 2025 has seen a revival of strict weight enforcement, particularly on international carriers. Airlines like Air France, Lufthansa, and Singapore Airlines are weighing carry-on bags at check-in counters and even at boarding gates, denying entry if they exceed limits as low as 15 pounds. This shift has caught many U.S. travelers off guard, since domestic airlines rarely weigh carry-ons, creating confusion and frustration. Some passengers, desperate to avoid fiats, have been spotted, transferring items from their carry-ons to their personal item, or even wearing layers of clothing to shift the weight. Travelers accustomed to stuffing heavy electronics like laptops, cameras, and chargers into their carry-ons are particularly vulnerable under these new rules. Several stories have surfaced of passengers being forced to check bags at the last minute after exceeding limits by just 1 or 2 pounds. These surprise fees often run much higher at the gate, turning a cheap ticket into an expensive ordeal. The weight crackdown also disproportionately impacts budget travelers, who often rely on carry-ons to avoid checked bag fees. As airlines tighten these restrictions, some argue it's less about safety and more about revenue. Generation squeezing passengers for every possible dollar. 6. The liquid loophole. No more. TSA's liquid restrictions, famously the 3-1-1 rule, have long been a source of frustration. Travelers found creative ways to push the limits, like carrying multiple quart bags or hiding liquids in personal items. But in 2025, TSA has launched new scanning technology that automatically detects liquid volumes with startling accuracy, eliminating most loopholes. Advanced CT scanners now create detailed 3D images of carry-on bags, flagging containers that exceed limits in seconds. This means that even liquids cleverly disguised in toiletry kits, makeup bags, or small bottles are being detected and confiscated. This shift has major implications for travelers who previously relied on carrying toiletries, beverages, or specialty items through security. But reports have surfaced of travelers losing expensive cosmetics, sealed duty-free purchases, and even medical supplies due to strict enforcement. TSA insists that exceptions still exist for medications and infant supplies, but travelers complain that agents are inconsistent, sometimes rejecting items that technically meet the guidelines. Frequent flyers have noted that international airports often apply these rules even more harshly, leaving little room for negotiation. 7. Oversized electronics on watch. Laptops, tablets, and gaming systems have always been subject to extra scrutiny, but TSA is expanding oversight in 2025. New directives require that oversized electronics be removed from carry-ons more frequently, even in pre-check lanes that once offered exemptions. TSA officers are now authorized to request secondary inspections if a bag contains multiple devices, heavy power banks, or unusual tech accessories. Travelers carrying drones, gaming consoles, or VR headsets have reported being pulled aside more often, leading to lengthy delays. Some airports have even introduced special bins for electronics larger than a laptop, reinforcing the idea that these items are under special watch. The added scrutiny has created frustration for tech-dependent travelers, who often carry multiple devices for work or entertainment. Many passengers have been forced to unpack meticulously packed bags at checkpoints, slowing down lines and creating stress. Stories abound of TSA confiscating batteries they deemed oversized or unsafe, even when passengers argued they were within limits. Some travelers have begun carrying printed manufacturer specifications to defend their devices, but TSA agents still maintain final discretion. The inconsistency leaves travelers vulnerable, especially those who rely on expensive equipment for business trips. 8. The end of stuffed pockets. A common hack among travelers was hiding extra items in jacket or pant pockets to bypass carry-on restrictions. In 2025, however, TSA officers are paying closer attention to overstuffed clothing, subjecting passengers to additional screenings if bulges appear suspicious. With new body scanners capable of detecting irregularly shaped items, even small attempts at sneaking through snacks, toiletries, or electronics are quickly flagged. TSA insists this measure is about safety, but many passengers believe it's another way to close loopholes that helped avoid fees. Passengers attempting to wear multiple layers of clothing to shift weight from luggage have also been caught and forced to remove items before boarding. The crackdown has had a ripple effect on travelers who prided themselves on creative packing solutions. Social media is filled with videos of passengers being pulled aside, unpacking dozens of items hidden in coats, only to face embarrassment and fees. The unpredictability of enforcement makes the risk hardly worth the reward, since TSA officers are increasingly trained to spot these tricks. This trend also adds stress for budget-conscious travelers, who often relied on such hacks to save on baggage costs. In short, the days of sneaking items through in clever ways are ending, replaced with tighter oversight and stronger technology. 9. Carry-on size scanners installed. Perhaps the most dramatic shift in 2025 is the installation of automatic carry-on size scanners at select airports. Instead of relying on gate agents with manual sizing bins, these machines scan bags with laser precision, instantly approving or rejecting them. If your bag fails the scan, you'll be forced to check it, often at the highest possible fee since you're already at the gate. Airlines tout this technology as a way to speed up boarding, but many passengers see it as yet another revenue trap. The machines leave no room for negotiation, eliminating the chance of charming or persuading an agent. Reports show that travelers with bags just half an inch too large are being flagged, sparking frustration and online debates about fairness. For travelers, this means the margin of error is virtually zero. That old, reliable carry-on that always fit before may now fail without warning. Manufacturers are scrambling to market luggage designed to fit within the new machine-measured standards, but travelers must remain vigilant. Some passengers are even resorting to bringing measuring tapes to the airport to double-check compliance before boarding. The stress of potentially losing carry-on privileges at the last second is changing how people pack, pushing more travelers to downsize and avoid borderline luggage altogether. Ultimately, this shift represents the end of flexibility in carry-on enforcement. It's 10. What this means for travelers. The cumulative effect of all these changes is a dramatically stricter environment for air travel in 2025. Travelers must now prepare for size, weight, liquids, electronics, and even clothing to be scrutinized like never before. Gone are the days when creative hacks could reliably bypass the system. TSA and airlines are aligned in closing every loophole. This means that passengers who cling to old strategies risk not only losing money, but also facing delays, stress, and in extreme cases, missed flights. The future of travel is clear. Compliance, preparation, and adaptability are now essential skills. The lesson for 2025 is that the travel landscape is shifting toward zero tolerance. What once felt like gray areas are now black and white rules. enforced by both humans and machines. The smartest travelers are no longer the ones who find loopholes, but the ones who anticipate trends and prepare accordingly. With TSA pushing new technologies and airlines eager for more revenue, the pressure will only increase. Adapting to these realities is no longer optional. It's the cost of air travel in the modern era. Air travel in 2025 has changed dramatically, and ignoring these new carry-on rules could cost you time, money, and peace of mind. Stay informed, pack smart, and always double-check airline policies before flying. If this video helped you prepare for your next trip, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more essential travel updates.